Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled versus Team Sonic Racing. Which game is the best Mario Kart rip-off? No, I'm joking. Which game is the better mascot kart racer? Let's find out. Hey, what's up you guys? This is SGB618 here, and today I'm going to be putting CTR Nitro-Fueled up against Team Sonic Racing to see which game is the best. Both games are new generation cross-platform kart racers published by Sega and Activision. However, CTR Nitro-Fueled is a remake of the original Crash Team Racing game on PS1. Due to the nostalgia factor and reliving that said nostalgia in HD, many people consider this game to be their all-time favourite kart racer. Team Sonic Racing on the other hand isn't nearly as popular, but for the most part it was received quite well post-release. I do want to say though, I have a nostalgic attachment to both game franchises. Not just Sonic and Crash, but also their racing games too. Racing games are my favourite genre of games, and Sonic and Crash were some of my favourites growing up, so combining those two definitely grabbed my full attention back then. I played a ton of GBA Crash Nitro Kart as well as Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing growing up, so I knew that I had to make this video at some point. This video was incredibly hard to put together as I had a ton of fun with both games. They both have completely different strengths and weaknesses, and they've approached the kart racing game formula in completely different ways too. CTR has a more Mario Kart structure to it, meaning that it has smaller tracks compared to the more traditional races, and obviously has 3 laps for going around the track. Team Sonic Racing has way longer stages and are all 3 laps, making each race feel more like an experience rather than just a simple race course. Don't get me wrong, CTR's tracks look amazing. All of the attention to detail, the creative designs and layouts, and the bright and colourful graphics all look very good. This is a bit of a hot take, but I'm not the biggest fan of the music in this game. It's not by any means bad, but it just sounds very goofy and silly compared to other game soundtracks. It does suit this game though, this is Crash Bandicoot after all, but even with that in mind, there are a few Crash Bandicoot games that have better music in my opinion. On the furthest hand away from CTR, Team Sonic Racing's soundtrack is so good. This shocked me so much when I first played. Not only did they use more electronic music, but they also fused melodies and patterns from previous Sonic titles as well. These made the music tracks feel partly nostalgic, but they still sounded fresh, if that makes sense. Listening to this soundtrack loud whilst playing the game really hypes you up and puts you in the perfect frame of mind. Speaking of, the tracks and level design are incredible. I don't think I need to say much here, just look at these. Even though it's incredibly unfortunate that other Sega franchises couldn't make it into this game, more on that later, Sega still went out with the level design, layout and music in this game, which is very nice to see. One thing I can confidently commend both games on are the level themes and design. Despite being completely different from each other, they both did very well here. So the presentation of both games are looking good, and the themes plus the number of themes are something to write home about. But what about the gameplay itself? Team Sonic Racing's controls are pretty straightforward and easy to understand. I personally like how you can change your drift direction but keep your built boost. I think that's very nice. I like the stunts you can do with the right analog stick, and I like the realistic feeling turning of the car. If you're a racing game bang out like me, you would know what I'm talking about. Now all of that is really cool, but there is one area in this game that I haven't talked about yet, which Team Sonic Racing would be super generic if it didn't have this. Team races. Okay, so this isn't something that's super mind-blowing or even new. Mario Kart has been doing this for years and it's a side option on versus mode. However, I think Team Sonic Racing expanded upon this idea and made it even more fun. Probably to the point that it made Team Sonic Racing a far more distinct and unique game compared to other racers. Not only do you need to try your hardest to come first like in any other racer, you need to make sure that your other 2 teammates also rank highly in each race. This is because the winning team is based off of how many points you earn in total, linking with what position everyone in your team finished in. For example, if a team placed first, second and third, they definitely won without question, because that's the best team rank you can get in the game, so they'd win. There have been races where my team didn't win despite me placing first in the race. This is because everyone else on my team was just chilling in the back. I just really like that aspect of the game, and it completely changes the racing game playing field. Another thing that I really like about the gameplay in Team Sonic Racing are the character interactions during gameplay. I love the dialogue during races. It really puts a spotlight on each character's personality, and their reactions to getting hit or after landing a shot is just hilarious to listen to. That little touch just makes the gameplay that much more enjoyable. Going back to Crash Team Racing, the controls are a lot more trial and error. They're far more difficult than Mario Kart or Team Sonic Racing, but once you do figure it out and get used to it, it's so much fun to control. Gaining speed boost and airtime is so satisfying, and adding consistent drifts on top of that, and you're having so much fun with this. We do have one slight issue though. I don't like the delayed jump. This is pretty much present in all Crash racing games, but it's just kind of annoying. Because it's slightly delayed, sometimes in overly tense situations, I would mess up and crash, no pun intended, because I didn't drift immediately after pressing drift. I did eventually get used to it, and it didn't happen as much the further I went into the game, but I just wish that it wasn't included at all in the game. But like I said though, everything else is very great and the game controls very well. At first you probably wouldn't like the controls, but after some time you'll definitely enjoy it. The game's difficulty curve definitely helps you to understand the controls better, and over time you'll get the hang of it. The difficulty curve is pretty harsh. You can definitely tell that the further you progress through the story modes, the harder things get, which is something that you would expect. Whoa, that rhyme, didn't even mean that. Well, at least for the most part, I was super nervous to race against Oxide, as all of the other stuff that I went through in story mode wasn't easy for me. I somehow managed to beat Oxide on my first try, and it wasn't even close either. I made him look like a kid on a scooter. Look at this. I honestly felt bad for him. Like, I think it had something to do with his massive hitbox, and he was just getting hit by everything I was dropping on the track. Anyway, other than that, this game is not easy at all. At the start of the game, you need to obviously get used to the controls, and then after you get used to the controls as you progress through the game, it just gives you more and more things to worry about in each race. The tracks can already be tricky in terms of layout, so being bombarded with other races and their items on top of that can lead to a few restarts. The story mode is still really good though. A ton of time and effort went into it. The script writing, cutscenes, links to the story, etc. all comes together very well. I just wish that the main game was a bit longer. 4 worlds and a final boss isn't the biggest quest ever, and no, making me revisit stages I've already raced on before just to pick up collectibles doesn't count. I mean, more worlds and more levels, that's what I want. Although I enjoy the team aspect in Team Sonic Racing and the interactions which are present in the story mode, the story mode itself is just alright. I mean, I'm sorry, when you're up against CTR's story mode and you don't even have animated cutscenes, yeah, it's a bit rough, let's be real. I don't really feel like I'm working towards something, it just feels like I'm just playing and moving on. Team Sonic Racing story mode is kinda soulless to me, which is a big shame. It's not bad because like I said before, the gameplay and the design of the game is very good, and obviously that applies to story mode too, but it just doesn't feel like a quest to me, it just feels like I'm just doing what I'm told. This unfortunately links with Team Sonic Racing's biggest flaw, content. Or lack thereof. Yeah, of course, have an amazing experience in Grand Prix mode and get first in all of them, and if you really want to, you can 100% story mode as well. And then what? What do you do after that? Online mode is pretty much useless because unfortunately it's rare to find people who are still playing this game. Story mode doesn't feel that different from playing from Grand Prix mode or versus mode. Oh sorry, did I say versus mode? I meant exhibition race. I'm forgetting this isn't Mario Kart. Character roster is kind of lacking. Feels like they missed out on a few characters. It just seems kind of small. And the biggest of all, there's no Sega All-Stars at all in this game. Only Sonic. Because this game was released after after All-Stars Racing and Transformed, this game just feels quite empty and incomplete. This was a massive missed opportunity, because if this game had other Sega All-Stars characters and tracks included, this would be a masterpiece of a racing game. But unfortunately, it was stripped down by quite a bit, and the single player experience is kinda empty feeling. Going over to CTR Nitro-Fueled now, and my days, where do I even begin? The story mode is excellent. There are so many characters to pick, choose and unlock. Same goes with the kart customization options, and it makes Mario Kart 7, 8 and Deluxe's one look like a joke in comparison. Customization for the characters as well. A store to buy more of those things that I just mentioned, like a million stages to pick from, whether it's CTR, Nitro Kart, all new, they're all here. This game has an alive online mode that actually has players waiting to race you, and the game is just still being supported to this day. CTR Nitro-Fueled has so much content, and on top of that, the quality is there in all of it as well. We literally got quantity and quality in this game, whereas Team Sonic Racing, we just got quality. That's probably the best way for me to put it. I did really enjoy my time with Team Sonic Racing. It's a very fun racing game that provides you with intense, exciting and fun races with unique elements like the team aspect. I would even go as far as to say that Team Sonic Racing is by far the most unique game out of the two. It puts its own spin on racing games, and it adds more responsibility and cooperation to the game. I mean, if you want to be real, CTR Nitro-Fueled is just another kart racer in comparison. But it's a kart racer that not only has a ton of content, but it actually beats out Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in a few departments, like single player support and endless customization support. I'm sorry, you can't just beat Mario Kart. That is a task and a half. Mario Kart set the standard for kart races. That is actually insane. I'm sorry to Team Sonic Racing fans, this was a very difficult decision, but I had to give the 0.01 edge to CTR Nitro-Fueled. Both games are amazing and both games had me enjoying my time with them. CTR just gave me more to enjoy. What would you rather, a regular packet of Maltesers or a share bag of Maltesers? You see what I mean? This was painful and extremely difficult, but CTR Nitro-Fueled barely wins this versus vid. It didn't beat Mario Kart 8 Deluxe overall though. But anyway guys, that's going to be the end of today's video, so hopefully you did enjoy it. Please comment down below your thoughts on the points that I made in this video. Did you agree with them? Did you not? And let me know, which game do you prefer? CTR Nitro-Fueled or Team Sonic Racing? Let me know and I'll be very interested to know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.